Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video, I will be demonstrating the spike stitch. I got a question from one of my subscribers who was wondering how to do the spike stitch. And to be honest, when I first was reading the question, I was like, I wonder if this person means the pike stitch. But no, the person means the spike stitch. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today. The only thing you're going to need is a crochet hook and then two different color yarns. Okay, you can use more than two colors if you want, but two colors in today's video. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to start out with a slip knot. Insert your hook and tighten. So it doesn't matter how many you chain out for this demonstration. I just want to show you how to make the pike stitch, and we're going to be doing single crochets. Okay, so far I've crocheted 4 chains, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, so I've chained 15. I'm going to, in the second chain, so this chain right here from the hook, so 1, 2, the second chain from the hook, I'm going to go in there and put a single crochet so I don't yarn over first. Just go over into it, yarn over, pull through the front, 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing for each of the remaining chains. Just put 1 single crochet in each of these chains. I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, now we're at that last chain, so I'm going to put my single crochet in it as well. And this is what I have, a row of single crochets. Now I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to turn my work, and in this last single crochet of the previous row, so that single crochet right there, which is this one, and it's also the same stitch that I just chained 1 up out of, that's where I'm going to put my first single crochet. I'm just going to go into the top of it like that, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, so I don't miss any single crochets. That very first one, I put a single crochet in it. And now I'm just going to go through the remaining single crochets of this row and put 1 single crochet in each single crochet of the row below. I will meet you at the end of this row. Alright, we are now at the end of this row. We have 1 more single crochet to create to put in that single crochet, and it might be kind of hard from this view. Whenever you're having trouble identifying where a stitch is, just kind of rotate it towards you like that to give yourself a top, or as I like to call it, an aerial view of the stitch, and then it kind of pops out at you, so then you can clearly see, okay, that's the top of the stitch right there. Yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, and that's what you have. If you are worried about the fact that we did not put a single crochet in that very first chain there, that was created by going into the second chain from the hook. You know how we skipped a chain and then put our first single crochet into the second chain from the hook? There's a little bitty chain there. Don't worry about that because we took care of that when we crocheted this very first chain at the beginning of this row and that very first stitch there. Okay? When you crochet into that very first stitch, it makes for a more even edge as well. So it's an added bonus. Alright, so from this point, we're going to just repeat what we just did. Chain 1, turn your work, and into that stitch, which happens to be the last stitch of the previous row, we're going to put our first single crochet into the top of it, like that. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat what we just did by putting 1 single crochet in every single crochet of the row below. Okay, let's see what I'm doing. Going in there, yarning over, pulling through, and going through 2. Going into the top, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over, going through 2. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this. All right, so we are currently on row 3 of these single crochets. This is the 3rd row of single crochets. I want you to crochet until you get to row 8, and I will meet you after you've completed your 8th row of single crochets. Remember, this is your 3rd row. All right, I'll see you there. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and I am almost done with my 8th row. I have one more single crochet to put. And the reason I haven't completed this single crochet is because in the middle of making this single crochet, that's where we're going to change our yarns. Okay, so because we're making a single crochet, we'll go into the top of the stitch like we've been doing all along, yarn over, pull through, and you're gonna have 2 loops. We're gonna drop this yarn, and now we're going to grab our other color, which for me will be white. Okay, and we're going to just loop it onto our crochet hook. Make sure you pull on the one you're currently working with that you just dropped so that loop doesn't get too big. But hook this white yarn onto the hook like that and pull it through so that we start the 9th row with white. Okay, and then at this point you can once again pull on this to kind of tighten it, and then just kind of close your loop up. Alright, so now we're going to chain 1 like we normally would, and we're going to turn our work like that. And now we're just going to be working with the white. This is coming from the first ball that I was working with, so we'll just let that hang there for now. So with this new color, the white, we need to put our first single crochet into that first stitch like we normally do. So you can just go into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, and then as I said, you can kind of pull to tighten to make it look, a bit neater. Alright, so now let's have some fun. So the thing about the spike stitch is basically we're just making single crochets, but we're going to be involving the rows below. Okay, so this stitch right here, that one right there, that's where our next single crochet would go, right? If we were just making a row of white single crochets, we would normally just go into that stitch, yarn over, and that would be our second single crochet, correct? Okay, but because we want to get fancy and we want to do the spike stitch instead, we're going to go down 1 row. Okay, so we're gonna, not in this single crochet, but we're going to go into the single crochet that this single crochet is in, which happens to be that one. Okay, so once again, instead of going into this single crochet, we're going to go in the row below. So there's this one and then that one, and in fact that one is in that one, and that hole right there, that's where we're going to go in too. So we're going to go in like that. And see how the hook is on the other side now. We're going to yarn over, pull that back through the front, be kind of loose, so give yourself enough slack to get up to the height of this row, and now we'll complete our single crochet by yarning over and going through the 2 loops that are on our crochet hook. Okay, let's do another one. So this single crochet, it's covering the single crochet of the 8th row that we would have gone in if we were making all of the single crochets along this line, right? And we still are technically, but the yarn is going in a row below, 1 row below. So Now let's do another one. So this is the first single crochet, that's the second single crochet, and that's going to be the third single crochet. But we're going to go another row below that. So it's that one, and if we were making a spike of this length, we would go in there, right there, in there. But we want to be a little bit more artistic, so we're going to make a longer spike. So we're not going to go in there, we're going to go one more row down, which is there. So once again, we're not going to go in that one. We're instead going to go in that space. So we'll stick our crochet hook through that hole. And now you can see the hook coming through on the other side. Yarn over and pull that through to the front. Now we're going to give it enough slack to get up to the height of this row of single crochets. Okay. We'll yarn over and go through two like we would any other time for making a single crochet. Okay, and you see it's creating a little pattern. By the way, every time you complete one of those single crochets, it takes the place of the single crochets that we would have crocheted into. So right now for this row we've made 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Let me turn this around so you can see it better on the back side. So for this single crochet, that single crochet, and that single crochet, which are really up here, they're just hidden by the white, we've crocheted 3 single crochets. Okay, the next one will be this 4th one, and when we crochet it, we're going to go another row lower than that one. So the next spike that we make will be for this single crochet. So let's turn it around again. So as I was just saying, the next single crochet will be for this single crochet, but we want to go 3 rows down now. So down 1, not that one, down 2, that would be at that level, but this one 3. So now we're going down 3 rows. So we're going to go into that hole, yarn over, pull that through to the front like that. Now give it enough slack to get up to the height of the single crochets. Yarn over and go through 2. Let's complete our single crochet. Okay, and that's basically all that the spike stitch is. Alright, so now let's repeat this pattern. So that single crochet took the place of that one right there behind. So this is the next stitch, and since we're repeating the pattern, we're just going to go into the top of this one. So go into the top of this stitch like that and make a single crochet. Alright, now for the next one, which is there, we want to go down 1 row. So there's that single crochet, down 1 row is there. So that's where we insert our hook. Yarn over, pull through to the front, give yourself enough slack to get up to the height of that top row, and then complete your single crochet. That's that one. Okay, now for this single crochet we want to go down 2. So instead of going in there, that's 1 down for that, but we want to go down 1 more, 2 down for there. So that's where we're going to go and insert our crochet hook. Yarn over, pull through, give yourself enough slack to get back up, yarn over, and complete your single crochet. For this one we're going to go down 3. So instead of going in there, we're going to go down 1, which is there, down another, so that's 2, which is there, and then down 1 more, that's 3 down, which is there. That's where we're going to insert our hook to the hole, yarn over, pull through to the front, pull it all the way up like that, yarn over, go through 2, and you can see this nice pattern is happening, these spikes. Okay, This is the next one. We're going to start the pattern over again. So starting at the top, going to the top there, we'll make our first single crochet like normal. For the next single crochet, normally it would go in there, right? But we're going down one row. So this single crochet is in that single crochet right there. So that's where we're going to insert our hook. So let's put that back in there, close it up a little bit, and then go in there like that. You can pull that out of the way, yarn over, pull through to the front, pull it up, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, the next one is there. So once again, we would normally go in that single crochet, but we want to go down. So that single crochet is in that one, but that's what we did the last time. We want to go lower. That single crochet is in that one. So that's where we want to insert our crochet hook, right there, into that same hole. So you can pull that out, yarn over, pull through to the front, pull up, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, so that's another way that you can do it to kind of mark it. Alright, for this last one, we would normally go in there next. So look at where this single crochet is going into. That one is going into that one. Okay, we already did that one. That one is going into that one. We already did that one. That was the one we just did, so we got one more. This single crochet is going into that one. So that's where we're going to put our crochet hook in there. Okay, and we'll pull that marker out, yarn over, pull through to the front, and pull all the way up the 2 loops. Now yarn over and go through 2. Okay, so this is how you create the spike pattern. Okay, basically all it entails is you going into rows below the one you're currently working on, and depending on how far down you go, that will create the length of your spike. So at the beginning I didn't go down any rows, I went into the top of the stitch, and so it's the shortest one. The next spike, it was created when I went down 1 row. The next one was created when I went down 2 rows. And this longest one was created when I went down 3 rows. And then I started the pattern again. 0 rows I went down, 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows. 0 row, and the 0 row means I went into the top of the stitch of the very row below. So 0 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. Okay? And I'm just going to finish off by putting 1 regular single crochet into the last 2 single crochets. Okay, that's the last one. Alright, so chain 1, turn your work, and that's it for the spike stitches. By the way, the spikes show on either side of your pattern as well, so that's the cool thing. Alright, so we have 1 row of white, and I want a total of 8 rows of white. So crochet 7 more rows. 7 more rows plus this one will make 8, and we will end up back on this side. And then we will practice with a few more spikes. I will see you there. And just in case it wasn't clear, you're only doing regular single crochets now. So I chained 1, turn my work, and I'm going to go into the top of the stitch like normal. Okay? Just go into the tops of these single crochets like normal. Alright, I'll see you at the end of the 8th row of white. Alright, so I am once again at the end of my 8th row, and I'm at that last stitch where I'm going to put a single crochet. So remember, I'm going to change colors in the middle of the single crochet. So pull through like that, And now I'm going to drop this white and pick up another color. Now, if I were working with more than 2 colors, then I would just bring on that new yarn. But because I'm going to go back to this, what I'm going to do instead is cut my yarn. And then don't worry about this unraveling. You can weave this tail in that part of your work and it will secure it. Alright, so now I have this free color again. So I'm going to, as before, loop it on, pull it through to complete that single crochet. Pull on the yarn I just dropped, which was the white, to kind of pull it, tighten it, and then I'm going to obviously tighten the new working color as well. Alright, and as with any row, at this point I just chain 1 and turn my work. Alright, so now I'm going to create some spikes using this color, and just as before in that very first stitch, see how I put 1 regular single crochet in that very first stitch in the top of the stitch? I'm going to do the same thing here. So this is the first single crochet. I'm going to put my first single crochet into that stitch, that pull, and then as I said, you can pull to tighten this like that. Just pull it nice and tight. Alright, so there's no rule saying that we have to follow this pattern, although I think it would look pretty cool if we did. But what if we changed it up? Alright, so let's change it up this time. Alright, so that's the same, that end one. Let's do another. So in the next stitch, I just went in the top of it. Alright, now let's do something different. So in this third single crochet there, I'm going to go down 1. Alright, that one is in that one, so down 2, and that one is in that one, so down 3. So what if I started with the long one? And then bring that all the way up, yarn over, and complete the single crochet like that. So notice here I started shorter, went long. Now I'm starting long, and my plan is to go short. So that was 3 rows down. This one is the next stitch, but instead of going in that one, I'm going to go down 1. So that one is in that one, which is that hole. That one is in that one, which is that hole. So that's where I'm going to insert my hook. Yarn over, pull through to the front and up. Yarn over, go through 2 to complete the single crochet. Alright, the next stitch is here. That stitch is in that single crochet, so there's that hole. So that's where I'm going to insert my crochet hook. Yarn over, pull through to the front. Yarn over, go through 2 to complete the single crochet. And so you see what you have. So it's kind of like a reverse of the pattern. Alright, so for the next one, I'm just going to go into the top of it like that, and then I'm just going to continue repeating this pattern now. Okay, so after that regular one, I went all the way down 3 rows. So not that one is in that one, that's that hole. That one is in that one, that's that hole. That one is in that one, so it's that hole. And then pull all the way up, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, the next one is here. So down 1, down 2. Next one, just down 1, which is there. The next one is just regular. The next one is down 3. So not there, so 1, 2, 3. And you guys will get quick at this. I've just been kind of going slowly just to help you identify where to insert your hook, but it goes faster. Okay, so not that one, down 1, down 2. Alright, down 1, and then regular, and that top, and in the top of the single crochet. Okay, so as you see, this is how you create the spike stitch. This is the spike pattern. Okay, and then I could crochet 7 more rows of this color and then go back to the white if I want it. But as I said before, the spike stitch or spike pattern is just created by making whatever type of stitch you're making. So you're making, in this case, single crochets, because that's what we've been working with all along. But it's where you insert your hook. And if you want a longer spike, you just go further down. But you have to go into the appropriate stitch so that it's a nice straight line. Okay? So basically just follow the stitch on down and you'll find the appropriate hole. So for the person who was asking how to do the spike stitch, this is how to do the spike stitch. Hopefully you have enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you have any more questions, or are there any other stitches or patterns that you would like for me to demonstrate. And yeah, if you have any questions, you know where to find me in the comments section. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I will definitely see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting. Before I let you go, just wanted to say, if you wanted to end here, then you could just chain 1, cut your yarn, fasten off like that, and then just weave this yarn in this blue section, okay? And then for this white there that we're now done with, once again, just cut your yarn. So for all of these tails in these different colors, just weave the yarn using a darning tapestry weaving needle, something like this, using this. Just weave the yarn into your work. So obviously with this turquoise color, I would weave it through the turquoise stitches. This white, I would weave through these white stitches. Okay, it wouldn't make sense to weave this turquoise through that white because then it'll mess up your pattern. Okay, so yeah, just weave in all of the tails and you'll be done.